Good morning to everyone. My name is Amankanarsi, working as assistant professor in civil department. Today I will explain the topic design of flexural resistance. Last class we have discussed for lecture 17 calculation of pre-tensioning problems. So now we have to calculate the post-tensioning system type of problems for calculating moment of resistance. Okay, now for fourth BTech second semester unit 4. Now I will explain for post-tensioning system for example problems. Now see the problems for example 7.6. Last class I will explain example 7.5, 7.4, 7.3. I have to calculate flanged sections, one rectangle sections. I have to using pre-tensioning system. Now I will explain for post-tensioning system. I have to calculate the moment of resistance for T-beams. Okay. See the example problem 7.6. Read the problem. A post-tensioned pre-stressor concrete T beam having a flange width of 1200 mm and a flange thickness of 200 mm. The thickness of web being 300 mm is pre-stressed by 2000 mm square of high tensile steel located at an effective depth of 1600 mm. Okay, if FCK characteristic of concrete 40 Newton per mm square and F equal to 1600 Newton per mm square, estimate the ultimate flexural strength of the unbounded T section. That means moment of resistance you have to calculate in this problem. Assuming span by depth ratio is 20 and FEP equal to 1000 Newton per mm square. You have to calculate in this problem for moment of resistance unbounded T section. Post-tensioning means after concreting complete have to apply tension force for tendons or wires. Okay, after setting final setting time completed for concrete, after applying tension for tendons, now we have to calculate the moment of resistance for PV. Write the data for what is given in this problem. Now width of the beam 1200 mm and depth of the flange 200 mm and FCK characteristics of concrete 40 Newton per mm square and AP area of pre-stressing pre-stressed by 200 mm square for high tensile steel. Area of steel also is given AP equal to 2000 mm square and BW equal to width of web that means rib 300 mm and depth L by D span by depth ratio 220 mm. Okay, and P equal to 1600 Newton per mm square and small d effective depth 1600 mm and FPE 1000 Newton per mm square. Okay, now I have to calculate in this problem. I have to flanged section. I have to calculate for neutral axis fall within the flange. You have to issue. Okay, neutral axis means depth of neutral axis have to XU for symbol of depth of neutral axis. For T section, you have to assume depth of neutral axis within the flange. This is the flange. I have to assume the depth of neutral axis for T beam. Neutral axis means center distance. This is the neutral axis within the flange. This is the flange. Have to assume and proceed. For you have to write the formula APFP divided by BDFCK. You have to already discussed in this problem for flanged sections. APFP by BDFCK. You have to got the value And span by depth ratios also is given for tendons. L by D, you have to 20, take in the values, and the ratio of table number 7.2 in West Indian Standard 1343 have to post tensioned uh, rectangular beams have to unbounded tendons, you have unbounded T beams also have to take in these values, effective span by effective depth per ratio, nodal axis of that of the tendons in the tension zone, XU by D for values L by D. Okay. And FPU by FPE. You have to stress in tendons as a proportional of the effective pre-stress. Okay. You have to be using this formula, these tables, and APW area of pre-stressing steel for web, APF equal to area of pre-stressing steel for flange, and DF equal to thickness of flange. Then AP equal to area of steel equal to APW plus APF. APF equal to 0.45 FCK B minus BW. Okay, this is the compression zone, this is the tension zone. I have to write stress diagram, I have to applying the formulas, deriving the formulas, and I got the APW formula. You know the formula AP minus APF. Okay, APF equal to, you know the formula 0.445 FCK B minus BW into DF by FP. Okay, now how to using the formula depth of nodal axis assume within the flange. You have the ratio of AP by FP BDFCK, you know the formula 0.26 per table 7.2 corresponding ratio L by 220. By interpolation, we have the ratio. You have to got the ratio for interpolation table 7.2. Okay, 20. You have interpolation. Okay, got the value for 7.6 table number ISCI 1343 2012. Okay, I have to ratio FP by FP 1.34 XU by D 0.10. Therefore, FP equal to, you know the value FP, FP, and you know the value D value to calculate the depth of nodal axis and the FPU value. This values got for table number 7.2. C table number 7.2. This is the depth by ratio. Okay, you have to take into account the values 1.34 and 0.10. 1.34 for this value, 0.026 got the value. This you have to 20, 1.34, and affected by 20 for 0.10. For 0.025 you have to 0.026 got the value. Okay, you have the example 7.6. Right now, I have to calculate XE value and an FE value. 1340 Newton per mm square, and XU 160 mm, and less than DF 200 mm. One assumption also is have to write, and the rental axis falls within the flange. Our assumption is correct. The ultimate factor strength of unknown T beam is computed as that using formula moment of inertia mu equal to AP FPU into D minus 0.42 XU, that equal to 2000 into 1340 into 1600 minus 0.42 into 160. Finally got the value 4107 in 10 to the power of 6 Newton mm. Okay. Finally convert the kilonewton meter 4107 kilonewton meter. That is the moment of resistance of unbound section for T beam. Unbound section for T beam. Got the value mu equal to 4107 kilonewton meter. This is the process where you have to calculate the force section pre-stressed concrete T beams. You have to calculate unbounded T sections. You have to follow the table number 7.2 IS 1343 2012 code book. You have to use to calculate the amount of resistance. You know the formula mu equal to AP FPU to D minus 0.42 XU. You have to calculate first FPU and XU. See the procedure. Have to calculate. And example 7.7. Again, I will explain. A post-tensioned bridge gutter with unbounded tendons is of a box section uh, of overall dimensions 1200 mm wide by 1800 mm deep with the thickness of 150 mm. Okay, the high tensile steel has and area of tangential area of 4000 mm square, and is located at an effective depth of 1600 mm. The effective pressure in steel after all losses is 1000 Newton per mm square, and the effective span of the girder is 24 meters. If FCK equal to 40 Newton per mm square, that is the characteristic for concrete, and FP equal to 1600 Newton per mm square, precessing force, and estimate the ultimate flexure strength of the section. That is calculate the moment of inertia, moment of resistance. You have to calculate in this problem. Same, I have to get a table 7.2 have the ratio of this APWFT by BWDFCK. Write the same equation. First, you have to write given data AP equal to area of tangent steel. AP equal to 4000 mm square, and FCK value also is given, and FP value and FPE 1000 Newton per mm square, and B equal to width of the gutter 1200 mm, and width of the web 300 mm, and D equal to depth effective depth 1600 mm, and DF effective depth 150 mm. To see this same for TB. L equal to span 24 meters. Span by depth ratio, we have got the value to L value and D value got 15. The span by depth ratio 15, and AP equal to AP plus APW plus APF. APF already got the formula 0.45 CK B minus BW into capital DF by FP. We have to substitute this value, got the value APF that equal to 1518 mm square. That is the APF value. You have to formula already. I have to discuss this formula as last class derivation part. APF, this is the formula. APF equal to 0.45 CK B minus BW. APF means area of precessing steel per flange. APF equal to area of precessing steel per flange. Okay, 0.45 CK B minus BW into capital DF divided by FP. You have to use the formula. You have to calculate this one. APF and APW means AP minus APF. APW equal to AP minus APW. AP equal to 4000 mm square minus 1518 mm square. Finally, APW equal to 2482 mm square. Thus, APW FP divided by BW small d FCK, that equal to 2482 into 1000 divided by 3000 into 1600 into 40. Got the ratio per table 7.2, 0.129 in have to FU by FPE, the ratio 1.31. Okay, and XU by D is equal to 0.41. Okay, this value 0.129 for you have to take in table number 7.2, 0.129. You have to this value 0.129. That means 0.13. 120. Got the value only 0.129 by 1.0.129. This rationalizing this 3, 0.10 and 0.15 have to interpolation. Span by depth ratio I have to got the 50, and I have to take in interpolation these two values to got the values for this problem 1.31 and 0.41. 1.31 and 0.41. Okay, 0.41 and 1.31. You have to interpolation for this two between the 30 and 20 interpolation, 30 and 20 interpolation. I have to got the values for this ratio 1 FQ by FP 1.31 and HQ by D 0.41 as per table 7.2 Indian Standard 1343 2010. I have to use the code book and you have to interpolation this value. Got the FPU by FP 1.31 and XU by D equal to 0.41. FPU got the value, you know, the FPU 1310 Newton per mm square, and XU equal to depth of neutral axis 0.1 into, you know, the effective depth 1600. You got the 656. This is the depth of neutral axis. Okay, now moment of resistance using the formula for in this problem. FPU APW D minus 0.45 XU plus 0.45 CK B minus BW DF into 0.4 D minus 0.5 DF. Okay, this is the moment of resistance. We have to calculate the formula in this derivation part. Flange section. How to using that formula for calculating the flange sections. See this formula for this is the obtained for table ultimate resistance moment of obtained by the expression. The following example on the Indian Standard Code for T sections regarding provision from bonded and bonded sections have to using this formula. Mu equal to FTU uh, for APW D minus 0.42 XU plus 0.45 CK D minus BW DF into D minus 0.5 into DF. You have to using this formula. Okay, how to do formulas in this section. Okay, mu equal to another formula. FU AP D minus 0.42 XU for ultimate moment of resistance of the section. This is another formula. I have to mu equal to FU APW D minus 0.42 XU and plus 0.45 CQ D minus BW D my DF into D minus 0.5 DF. We have to use in this formula here moment of resistance. Okay, the ultimate resistance of the section. You have to using this formula moment of resistance. You have to calculate it in this model. Okay, now substitute this equation. Finally, got the value for a 8011 into 10 power of 6 Newton mm that equal to 8011 kilonewton meter. Okay, this is the example problem I have to calculate for in this process. Calculate the moment of resistance using table number 7.2. And to calculate it, these values, APF values and APW, have to calculate AP equal to APW plus APF. Okay, now calculate APF and APW. Also calculating the equation for APW, FPE, APW, DFCK. This situation you have to using this formula moment of resistance. Okay, here only you have to calculate AP by FP. Okay, LBD ratio you have to given. FPE, AP values also is given. I have to substitute this direct formula. I have to calculate this using this simple formula for neutral axis within the flange. Okay, this is the DF equal to 150 mm. Depth of neutral axis 656. Okay, I have to calculate these values. Finally, moment of resistance you have to calculate. Okay, now this is the procedure I have to calculate moment of resistance for table 7.2. Neutral axis within the web. Depth of neutral axis for 656 mm. Okay, depth of neutral axis 650 mm. Okay, for greater than this, I have to finally the neutral axis you have to estimate web. I have to neutral axis web in web. We have to calculate this formula. Okay, using this formula, moment of resistance. Neutral axis within the plane, you have to using this formula. Okay, under AP value, FP value directly you have to give it. In this problem, have to calculate within the planes. You have to this using this formula for calculating moment of inertia, moment of resistance. And neutral axis within the web, you have to using this formula mu equal to FPU APW D minus 0.42 XU plus 0.45 CK into D minus BW into DF into D minus 0.5 DF. You have to substitute this equation. Finally, got the moment of resistance neutral axis within the web 8011 kilonewton meter. Okay, this is the example problem. Now again I will did this problem. A post-tension bridge gutter with the unbounded tendons is a box section of overall dimensions 1200 mm wide by 1800 mm deep with a wall thickness of 150 mm. The height angel still has a area 4000 mm square and it is located at effective depth of 600 mm. The effective pieces in steel after all losses 1000 mm square and the effective span of the gutter is 54 meters. If the FCK 40 mm square and FP equals 600 mm square, estimate the ultimate effective strength of the section. You have to write the given data, you have to calculate this one. First APF value and APW. See that section for APF, APW. See this conditional mention post-tension rectangular beams having unbounded tendons. You have to using this formula AP equal to APW plus APF, but APF equal to 0.45 CK B minus BW D by dP. You have to using this formulas for rectangular sections. Okay. Uh, this is the table number 7.2. So you have to calculate in this for rectangular section box gutter. You have to take in this formula using this formula. Okay. Now small clearance for in this problem. These two problems. Example 7.6 and 7.7. You have to difference. This is the T beam. This is the rectangular box. Uh, this is the rectangular box. For rectangular box, for unbounded section, see the table 7.2 condition at the ultimate limit state for post tension rectangular beams having unbounded tendons. You have to use in this problem 7.7 have to uh, unbounded tendons, bridge gutter with unbounded tendons. Have to using this formula, particularly this formula I have to use for this APF equal to APFW equal to AP minus APF. Finally got the formula for rectangular form. In this moment of resistance have to calculate it for moment of resistance. Okay. This is the main difference between these two example problems, example 7.6 and 7.7. This is the box gutter, this is the T-beam. How to calculate these two problems in this process. Now, next topic for importance of control of deflections for pieces to remember. Uh, this is the another topic for unit 4, second topic. Deflection have to this the philosophy of design term limit state approach adopted by the Russian code in 1954 and the American and British codes in 1971 requires a proper knowledge of the behavior of structural concrete members and the multiple limit states of which the deflection forms an important criterion for the safety of the structure. It is the general practice according to various national codes uh, that structural concrete members should be designed to have adequate stiffness to limit deflections, which may be adversely affect the strength of or serviceability of the structure at working loads. You have to main importance. You have to control the deflection. Uh, and British code and then of American code 1954 and 1971. You have to behavior of structural concrete member at the multiple limit states of its deflection forms of an important criteria for the safety of the structure. Very, very important thing. In this precious concrete members, have to deflection is very, very important. Okay. Now you have investigating for 1954 and 1917 British courts and Russian court 1954. Okay. Suitable control and deflectional is very essential for the following reasons. See, the control of main control the deflection for structural members of pieces to concrete. Um, for the reasons we have following reasons: excessive sagging of a principal structure members is not only unsightly, but at times also renders the floor unsuitable for the uh, in, intend use. Intend use. This is the reason for to controlling. Sagging of principal structural members is not only unsightly, but at times also renders for the floor unsuitable for the indent use. Okay. Now another reason: large deflections uh, under dynamic effects and under the influence of variable loads may be cause discomfort to the users. Another one: excessive deflection are likely to cause damage to finishes, uh, partitions, and associated structures. Okay. Now the three reasons for using. Okay, have to write. Suitable control on deflection is very essential for following reasons. The three reasons are very important. To uh, control the on deflection is very essential for the following reasons. Mainly, sudden loads you have to applying the member and okay, sagging of principal structural members is not only unsightly. Okay, that means C renders the floors unsuitable for the indent use. Excessive sagging of principal structural members is not only unsightly, okay, but at times also renders the floor unsuitable for the intent use. Okay, okay. Next, large deflections under the dynamic effects and the and under the influence of variable loads may be cause the discomfort the, to the users. So excessive deflections are likely cause damage to finishes, um, partitions, and associated structures. Okay, excessive load you have to cause main control have to reduce the maximum load and excessive loads and have to damage finishes partitions or sectors. In recent years, damage of partitions of finishes has been the most important consequence of excessive deflection. Very, very important. Excessive deflection means more deflection have to gain. A field survey conducted by Mayer in Germany uh, reviewed over 80 examples of damage of partition walls of which 21 had estimated deflections within the prescribed code limits. The survey also indicated that a maximum limit on deflection should be specified in addition to a limiting deflection span ratio. Since it was recognized that the span increases, the former limitations is likely to control. For a reasonably accurate assessment of deflections, it is very essential to consider the various factors which influence team. How to control the deflection? To have to reduce the span. Okay, span ratio have to reduce. Okay, have to reduce span to control the deflection. You have to increase the span, automatically increasing deflection. You have to access deflection. Also, failure will be kept. You have to control main important point. You have to reduce the span of the gutter of a beam or element, any structural element for features to concrete. You have to reduce the span to control the deflection. Okay. What are the factors influencing the next topic? What are the factors influencing the deflection? Okay, the deflections of precessed concrete members are influenced by the following silent factors. Okay, imposed load and self weight. That is the first factor. Another one, second one is the magnitude of the pre-stressing force. You have to applying the pre-stressing force. Pre-stressing force, two systems have to applying pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. Okay, now uh, another factors have cable profile. Third one is cable profile and second moment of area of cross section and modulus of elasticity of concrete and shrinkage creep and relaxation of steel stress, span of the member and fixed condition. Fixed condition. Okay, fixed conditions. Fixed conditions. These are the 8 factors you have to influencing for deflections. These conditions very important for the following silent factors: imposed load and self weight. Okay, imposed load means live load, self weight means dead load. Okay, this factor for influencing the deflection and the magnitude of precessing force also. Applying precessing force, any system for pre-tensioning system or post-tensioning system, they have to influence the deflection uh, in the second one factor, and third one cable profile also for influence the deflection and the second moment of area of cross section. Okay, area of cross section also we have to another one factor for influencing the deflection and modulus of elasticity of concrete. Modulus of elasticity of concrete, EC. Okay, this is also for influencing the deflection factor. And the shrinkage, creep, and relaxation of steel. Already explained about these 3 factors in last class: shrinkage, creep, and relaxation of steel. These 3 parameters also uh, factors influencing factor influencing for deflection. Okay, and the span of the member is very important. Have to maintain as per standard span. Have to span increasing, deflection also increase. Okay, fixed conditions, city conditions. Okay, in the in the pre-cracking stage, the whole cross section is effective on the deflection in this stage or computed by using the second moment of area of the cross concrete section. Okay, the computation of a short term or a instantaneous instantaneous deflections which occur immediately after transfer of pieces and on application of loads is conveniently done by using Moore's theorem. In the post-cracking stage, a precessor concrete beam behaves in a manner similar to that of a reinforced concrete beam, and the computation of deflection in this stage is made by considering movement curvature relationships which involve the section proper of the cracked beam. In both cases, the effect of creep and shrinkage of concrete to increase the long-term deflection under uh, sustained loads, which is estimated by using uh, empirical methods that involve the use of effective long-term modulus of elasticity or by multiplying short-term deflection by suitable factors. See this important thing for precessed concrete beams. Uh, Post-cracking and pre-cracking. Post-cracking and pre-cracking. You have the information failure condition gives the information. Okay. Uh, in this long-term deflection and short-term deflection, have to calculate it condition for second moment area cross section application of loads and transfer pre-shifting loads uh, and properties okay curvature properties uh, and shrinkage creep of concrete increase. Okay, these factors are influencing deflection for precious concrete members. Total 8 factors. First one, imposed load and self weight. Another second factor, magnitude of precessing force, cable profile. Second, moment of area of cross section, modulus of velocity of concrete, shrinkage, creep, and relaxation of steel stress, span of the member, and the fixity condition. Okay, in this factors are influencing the deflection. Pre-cracking and post-cracking have this stage of deflection computations of reinforced concrete and curvature relations which involves the section properties of cracked beam. Both cases effect of creep and shrinkage, long-term deflection and sustain loads. You have to sustain loads. Okay. Okay. See another topic, short-term deflection of uncracked members using Morse theorem 6.3.1. We have I will explain next class in this topic. Today discuss for post-tensioning example problems for box gutter and for rectangular gutter and T-beam. I have to calculate in this another one topic important of control of deflection for in these conditions. Excessive deflection for demonstrate method have approach Russian code 1954 and British code 1917. I have to estimate for investigation deflection controlling excessive deflection have to control very influence them this process this factor. What are the factors influencing for deflection? Main important for deflection, how to access deflection, how to control the deflection, or how to guard the deflection, what are the factors are influencing in deflection, how to reduce the deflection, how to calculate the deflection, how to investigate the deflection for precious concrete members in this chapter unit 4. This is the second topic. Next class I will explain short-term deflection for using Morse theorem. Next class I will explain this in this theorem and explain the problems and derivations. Okay, and we have to analyzing the deflection in this prestressor concrete members. Okay, thank you this opportunity.